guys, what's up? It's Joe Ready from Ready's Rides. We're back here at Volkswagen Brandon, and guess what? I always like to stick to what I say, and one thing we promise here on Ready's Rides is to always bring you all of the trims to the different models, and with this one, it's no exception. What we have is this 2025 Volkswagen Tiguan, new redesigned Tiguan, but guess what? This is the base S trim. But before we get into this compact crossover with some big changes for model year 2025, let's talk about what's going on here. So obviously, in the auto industry, car prices are out of control. They keep going higher and higher. The average car price is like $50,000. It's just stupid. But there are certain ways to still get a lot of value for your hard-earned money, and even though this S might be the base trim, the entry trim, you may still get a lot of features that in other brands you might have to pay for. Now, when it comes to compact crossovers, lots of different ones to choose from. Of course, you got the top-selling Rogue, CR-V, RAV4, even vehicles like the Equinox. And we can't forget the GMC Terrain. Plus, there's a bunch of other ones. Mazda CX-5, Mazda CX-50, list goes on and on. Subaru Forester. I could be talking to you just about the competition for the next 20 minutes, but I don't want to do that. I want to talk about this vehicle, and I want to find out, is it the most affordable for what you get in a compact crossover? Let's go ahead. Let's dive into this pure white. One of Steven's favorite colors to film, pure white Tiguan, and find out. Right off the bat, new look, new face, and the S trim is no exception. Now, at the front of the business, you're gonna see that you do get LED headlights, LED daytime running lamps and turn signals on a base trim. We do have functional corner air curtains, and then a little bit of that body color and a little bit of the flat black and flat gray finish. So you're still getting a lot of the same touches from the higher trims. Now, as we come across that Volkswagen badge looking good, I like the way they do the trim within the glass, the plastic up front, blends in the headlight housings very cleanly. And then working our way down, you got flat black on the grille, a little bit of gloss black accent, and then all flat black on the bottom portion with that gray finish. But let me know what you think about the face of this S trim, base trim of the Tiguan. Now, as we rise up, nice high hood, got that large indentation in the center, and this white is like a bright white. It's not a pearlescent, it's not a heavy metallic, it's just a nice bright white. Now, as we come around the bend, what are we working with? Wheel and tire steps. So you're gonna get these 17-inch wheels. That's the base size wheel, machined aluminum with the gloss black. Tire size is gonna be 215 on the width, 65 series sidewall, and you do have flat black around the fender opening, but like I said, the other trims also have flat black around the fender opening. But let me know what you think about the wheel. Is it too small? I don't know. I think for a base trim, it's just fine. It's not a hubcap. It's not a steel wheel and a hubcap. That is a all aluminum wheel. Now, coming down the side, you are getting the color matched on the mirror caps, turn signals built in. You even get, if you notice from the side of this Tiguan, the silver aluminum style raised roof rails. You got the bright shiny metalwork along the top, and you get color matched on your door handles. Down below, flat black with that flat silverish gray. You'll find that on the other trims. And then working our way towards the rear, like I pointed out before on other previous reviews, you got the trim that flares out on the back, and then from the back of the vehicle, guess what? You're still getting LED lights, full LED tail lights, turn signals. You got your long roof spoiler. Of course, we got a zonk the wiper. It would be nice, because look at all the room underneath there. I mean, you could put a ham sandwich underneath there, nobody would even see it. So it'd be nice to get rid of that wiper. And then working our way down to ground level, just a simple, clean lower bumper area. No fake exhaust, no weird trim, just flat black and that flat gray finish. And I like the way they spelled out the Tiguan name nicely under the Volkswagen badge. But why don't we go ahead, let's pop the hood and talk about horsepower of this base trim of the Tiguan. All right, guys, we got the hood popped. You do have hood truss. Now, even though this is the entry S trim, you're not getting some base detuned engine. You're getting the same engine all the other trims get of the new Tiguan. So what is it? It's a 2-liter inline-4 turbocharged engine that pumps out 201 horsepower, 207 pound-feet of torque. That's actually more horsepower than the previous model year. It's mated to an 8-speed automatic, 0 to 60 in 8.6 seconds. Top speed governed to 114 miles an hour. But guess what? Front-wheel drive is going to get you an MPGs, 29 in the city, 34 on the highway. The vehicle weighs 3,600 pounds, and it could tow up to 1,500 pounds. So nice to see more horsepower, more torque, and I'm glad they kept the 8-speed automatic. But why don't we go ahead, let's fire it up and see this thing roll on those 17-inch base wheels. All right, guys, we're inside this 2025 Volkswagen Tiguan base entry S trim. Now, I should have told you at the start of the video, but I'll do it now. Make sure you keep in mind that this is a base trim, okay? We're trying to show you the affordability of what they bring on a base trim. Now, with that in mind, I know you're saying, well, let the cat out of the bag, Joe. How much is this base S trim of the Tiguan? I know you want it. I'm going to give it to you. MSRP, $31,000. Remember, that's for a compact crossover SUV. But let's see what Volkswagen brings, especially for this redesign, to the door panels. I like the way they did the trim up top. The soft touch with that textured glass black material. In the base trim, you do get that gray-black sort of cloth interior in the center there with the white contrast stitching. Not my favorite, but like I said, this is the base trim. I do like the soft touch on the armrest with the white contrast stitching. And then you do have a large door pocket where you could easily get 4 Chipotle burritos and a bottle of Dr. Pepper to wash it down. Now, going from the door panel to the dash, same thing, the soft touch. I like this sort of metallic silver finish. And like I said, the gloss black, you could touch it. It's not just pure gloss black. It's got this nice texture to it. You don't have to worry about fingerprints. There's more of that cloth that goes all the way across from passenger to driver. You are going to get the entry level 12-inch, 12.9-inch infotainment system. That is entry. Optional is a 15-inch, but 12.9 inches, plenty of space that takes up visually. You got all your climate controls. Everything is in the screen. That's my one biggest zonk. But you do have lots of nice options. This doesn't have ambient lighting like the other trims, but like I said, you are getting wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless Android Auto, all those goodies. Let me throw it into reverse. Backup camera, semi-clear resolution. I do like the way you have the radar sensing technology. And don't forget, your shifter is now attached to the steering column. It's an electric twist and then push to go into park. Down below, you got your AC vents, 2 cup holders, a place for some bubble gum, and then they do give you the same touch display for your volume here. You can't, there's no modes or anything like that, so it doesn't give you any of those other features, but it does have your full volume control in this knob, and it is kind of cool how it has a digital TFT display. You got your start-stop button, your electric parking brake. Here is your classy key fob, just like the other trims. Wireless charging on a base trim, 2 USB-Cs, and then you got enough room there for 2 Egg McMuffins. Soft touch on the armrest, and it does extend, so that's nice. And then lift it up. That's where you could put your hash browns, easily 5 of them. And then underneath that, that's where you could stack up the rest of your hot apple pies. Those ones that basically they serve to you at McDonald's that's at a surface, feels like the surface of the sun. It's like hot lava. And there's a 12 volt in there. Seats, base trim gets the cloth. I'm okay with that because it looks good. The two-tone, nice material. Manual adjustments for the passenger. Manual adjustments, of course, for the driver. And don't even ask me for a sunroof. This is a base trim. But why don't you come over here to the business end? I got a flat bottom steering wheel I want to show you in this new Tiguan. All right, guys, business end behind the wheel. You do have all your seat controls. They are manual height adjustment, manual for the back, and of course, manual sliding. Seats are comfortable. They do a good job on the comfort of the seats. I'm 6 feet tall, plenty of room, especially now that they got rid of the third row in the Tiguan. And then the steering wheel, you do get leather. It's not like one of those cheap rubber made steering wheels. The leather with the nice stitching, flat black on all the switch gear, even a nice horn button. Manual tilting and telescoping wheel, and you do have a 10.25-inch digital gauge cluster. It's the same gauge cluster as the other trims, which are nice. But other than that, quite nicely done. It's got a nice amount of standard features, including wireless charging and a base trim. But why don't we go ahead, let's get in that back seat and see if your passengers are gonna be just as happy as you are sitting back there as you do up front. All right guys, back seat time, very, very spacious. I would actually argue probably one of the most spacious compact crossover SUVs. You don't have any pockets behind the seats. I'm okay with that because it is a base. But check it out, you do get AC vents for the rear, a place for some Tootsie Rolls, and 2 USB-Cs and a base. Seats are comfy, they're all cloth, just like up front. That's okay. Pull this down. Nicely padded armrest with the 2 cup holders. But why don't we get in the cargo area, because I want to take you for a spin to see how this entry-level drives. All right guys, time to get in that cargo area. Now, one of the things that's different about the S trim compared to the next highest trim, which is SE, is that it has a manual lift gate. Not a big deal. It's not heavy to lift. You're gonna be greeted to a generous amount of room. No more silly third row, you silly rabbit. What do we got going on though? We got 27 cubic feet of space with the seats up. Fold the seat down, that's gonna give you almost 60 cubic feet of space. I love the way they have the nooks for a couple 4-packs of Red Bull. You even got a place back here where you could put 2 Einstein bagels. And to fold down the seats, it's really simple. You just lift these levers. Let's see if I could get one to go down successfully. Look at that, easy peasy. Boom, Steven didn't think I could do it. I did it. I'm so happy, I'm so proud of myself. And then of course, underneath the cargo floor, you do get a spare. So even on a base trim, you're not gonna get stuck on the side of the road. But why don't we go ahead, if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's see what the driving experience is like in this entry trim of the Tiguan. All right guys, we're in this entry trim of the Tiguan S. And right away, it's nice how they were able to bring the value to the S without it making it feel like a rental car on the interior. It really does not feel like a base trim in here. Yes, the cloth materials kind of give it away a little bit, but it actually looks really good. So from that standpoint, definitely gonna see the value there. Getting to that massive 12.9-inch display is well within reach. The big zonk, like I said, is that all the controls are in the screen. And you do have 3 stages of heated seats and a base trim. But no matter what trim you're getting, you're still gonna get the same 2-liter turbocharged engine. It's peppy. It's not gonna, knock your socks off, but it's got plenty of pep. The big plus is the 8-speed automatic. No CVT, none of that. They got rid of the DCT, which just was terrible in this car. Handling is very predictable, very planted even in the front-wheel drive version. And as you'll notice, it's actually pretty quiet in here. A little bit of road noise, but no wind noise. We're gonna go on throttle here, getting out onto the highway. On throttle. So like I said, not the fastest, but it has enough pep to get out of its own way. But really comfortable. Visibility's great. Steering wheel feels good, good feedback. And for the most part, the 8-speed automatic is very, very smooth shifting. But you got nice storage. I like the way you can slide the center armor. It's just even simple things like that. Usually on a base model, you don't get a sliding armrest. You don't get wireless charging. You don't get USB-Cs all over the place. Those are things that usually in a base model they cut out, but you get them in this vehicle. 10.25-inch screen. Same screen size as all the other trims. And that 12.9-inch infotainment system, which is a base size. The big one is 15-inch. But I'm hoping that this has been a good, quick overall review of this Tiguan. We're gonna get back to Volkswagen Brandon and wrap this one up. So I'll see you in a split second. All right, guys, another great day in so many ways here at Volkswagen Brandon. Definitely got to thank Paul and the rest of the team getting us access to this entry-level S trim of the new Tiguan. Let me know what you think. Most affordable for what you're getting? Very curious to see what you have to say in the comment section. But if you're new to the channel and you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the redesigned family. Got to get up to the flood, man. He's working the movie magic with that camera and his great skills that he actually learned over decades of taking pictures and filming different things. So thank you, Steven, for all that you do. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.